How would you like to know the secrets champion workers use to be the best?
Chris Rose and Kathy Strong are the project consultants. Chris managed a large fruit farm for many years, and Kathy is a human behaviour and performance specialist. They promise to help you gain a 20% plus increase in labour productivity. That's a bold statement. Let's find out more about it. So Chris, studying productivity is not new. What gives you the confidence to make such a statement?
It always struck me as odd that despite what we know about productivity, the range of picking speeds was enormous. For nearly 3 years, we've been working with growers and their staff to identify the skills, knowledge and attitudes that the champions have that are missing in the lower performers.
Establishing the right working and living environment is another key to success. Seasonal workers may come primarily for the money, but increasingly they also expect a positive experience.
The best businesses have a friendly, happy working environment with an underlying discipline that is firm and consistent without resorting to aggression.
First impressions of the business are vital. Accommodation and facilities will either gain or lose respect, which will in turn affect performance. Does the first person that a new arrival sees have a welcoming smile, regardless of how busy they are or what time it is? Do you pick up arrivals from the nearest station or make them find their own way to you?
Well, we recommend that you have a welcome pack that gives them all the key information like bus times, railway times, supermarkets where they are, location and things like that. Anything that makes them feel safe, welcome and helps them find their way around.
Demanding top quality work whilst providing third-rate accommodation gives a very mixed message. Actions always speak louder than words. Okay, so let's focus on the best performing individuals, the champions. Presumably, what makes a champion will differ from job to job. I mean, cutting cauliflower is very different from, say, picking apples, isn't it?
Well, you would think so, Rob, and yet we found in our research that there were universal skills across all work, tasks and jobs that could be applied to people who didn't have those skills. So when you look for what's missing and teach that, then you can help people to improve their performance.
Well, let's go through some of the key skills. You may be familiar with them and will recognise them in your best people. Champions work hard for a reason. Not for money itself, rather what money will buy them. They have a major goal, such as buying an apartment or paying for university, buying a dream car or getting married.
I met one lad who was earning money to build a house. Each day in his mind he was working for a different part, such as a door or a window. He'd already built the house in his head and nothing was going to stop him from achieving his dream.
Talk individually to your people and find out if they have a major goal. They certainly should have one. With a big enough reason why to do something, motivation becomes so much easier, not just for them, but for you. It's really useful if you can find out what the goals are of your people. They're here for a reason. The next step is to find out why.
Champions have an unshakably positive attitude. They always see the best of any situation, the opportunity for a win. They think about good and happy things such as family, friends and their goals. If they do have negative thoughts, they let them go. They know that to perform at their best, they need to be relaxed and in a good mood.
Explain this to your people. It helps to be encouraging and friendly. You can still be firm in a supportive way. If you're positive, regardless of the conditions, it will spread.
They are fully focused, fully engaged and fully present in the moment. They shut off from distractions, such as emotions and negative self-talk. They keep to themselves and also ignore the weather, poor crop or product. Champions just keep working.
Your job is to keep the picker picking, the cutter cutting, the packer packing. Keep them supplied with the tools and materials they need and don't distract them.
We've stood a couple of feet from champions and they don't appear to notice us. Think of Tiger Woods and David Beckham. They play in front of thousands of people, but they don't allow those people to interrupt their game.
Champions are driven, determined and persistent. They are driven by their goals, which they're determined to reach, and they persist until they achieve them. They work like machines and set themselves a pace that they can maintain all day. They also set daily targets and have a strong desire and motivation to reach them.
Many slower workers can be motivated by setting themselves daily targets with rewards.
Champions are highly competitive, both with themselves and with others. They take pride in being the best, or certainly amongst the best.
Daily performance league tables promote competition. You can encourage your people to get higher up the table and closer to the best. Rewards for the most improved performer are very effective.
Champions are reliable and consistent. They perform at or very close to their best all the time, every day, and don't have off days.
A very effective way of getting your people to work at their best is to ask them to remember when they last did. If they can remember that, they will be able to work as well as they did at that time.
They are self-disciplined and take responsibility for themselves and their work, rather than blaming conditions, the weather or others. They believe, if it's to be, it's up to me.
To get any of your people to take responsibility, ask them what are they going to do about the thing they're complaining about. Get them to own their problems.
Let's just recap on the skills we have covered. You can pause the film to discuss them. Welcome back. In this section, we'll take a look at some further key skills.
Champions are fast learners, often through studying and copying other champions, and are constantly seeking ways to improve.
Encourage your people to watch the best performers. If the champion's willing, get them to work alongside for a while. The champion doesn't like it when people get things wrong and will probably correct them, so they'll learn much quicker that way.
Champions are confident and have total self-belief in their abilities. They don't need to be praised. They know when they're doing a good job.
Get your people to act as if they have confidence and encourage them to believe in themselves. It helps if you believe in them too.
The skills we have looked at so far are non-physical. In addition, champions have mastery of the physical requirements of the job. The following skills are relevant to many horticultural tasks.
Champions listen to their bodies and will take prompt and regular preventative action to avoid pain and discomfort. Typically, this involves frequently changing posture or counter-stretching rather than staying in one position. Other workers see pain as part of the job. They expect it, accept it, and in time give way to it.
Encourage your people to stay relaxed and to pay attention to their bodies. Get them to experiment with different ways of working that will reduce any pain or discomfort.
All champions have developed an effective strategy for the job they're doing. This includes a regular rhythm in their work. It might be pick and place, or bend and cut and stand and bag and twist and seal and place.
Study the best in your teams and gangs and look for the rhythm. Once you've found the rhythm, you can then show this to others.
Depending on the job, the effective strategy is also likely to include an effective search pattern. They do not have to go back over work because everything is done, such as picked, cut, sorted or packed, first time. They learn to do the job in the most efficient way to achieve the desired standard. Then they get faster and faster over time.
It's not enough to simply show the quality required or the desired result. When you teach effective methods, then speed will follow.
Yeah. OK, take a moment now to pause the film and discuss the skills we've just covered. Welcome back. In this section, we examine the role of champions within teams.
Champions are drivers. They keep their output high and seek to lift others rather than slow to the team pace. When the pace drops to that of the slowest team member, output and earnings suffer.
Encourage the top performers in your team to keep up their work rate. Demonstrate that you will work with them to lift the performance of the others.
Champion team players see themselves as part of the team and accept the give and take involved. In other words, they are flexible and will work wherever the need is greatest.
When any member of your team appears to act selfishly, take time to explain the benefits of cooperation and teamwork.
Champion team players are willing to help newer and slower team members. They'll teach their skills to others and are good teachers. These are your best allies.
Encourage them to teach and remember to thank them for it. Just make sure that they are teaching the correct things.
Champion teams are self-organising and self-regulating. They need very little external help, guidance or control. They sort out their own problems, set their own targets and maintain their own standards.
When teams are performing really well, just let them get on with it. Your presence is likely to disrupt and slow them down.
Champion teams have collective pride in their status and achievements. Good managers recognise and build on this.
One manager found ways that he could praise all his team for being the best at something. For example, output, quality, the most improved, that kind of thing. Just a simple thing like that can help lift performance.
They are competitive with themselves and against others. Though some members may not be individually competitive, they support the aims of the team.
Managers can encourage healthy competition by producing league tables and awarding prizes. The most improved team is a good category because the teams that most need encouragement have a chance of winning.
Champion teams are very focused. They seldom engage in idle chatter and they have a strong work ethic. Teams that talk a lot often have a good team spirit, but productivity does suffer.
It may be unwise to ban talking altogether. Rather, encourage them to try 30 minutes or more without talking and compare productivity. When they realise that talking is costing money, they probably will stop.
The best teams are cohesive. They work together and support each other. Members are aware of each other's needs and will step in to help another to the good of the team.
When you have a team that is not working well, take them to observe your best team and point out the differences that will help them.
Supervisor bias can contribute to poor performance. Chris and Kathy have observed many examples of the better teams getting more attention and better crops to work with. This kind of treatment affects performance very badly.
Ensure that all your teams are treated equally and they have the same tools, equipment and opportunities as everybody else.
Right, let's take another break now and discuss the skills we've covered. Welcome back. In this section we look at how to get the conditions right to encourage top performance levels. First impressions are very important.
To get new arrivals to begin working quickly with the right attitude, it's important to make them feel welcome and part of the farm family right from the beginning. When you do this, they're more likely to work well for you in tough conditions. Just remember your first day.
It is important that you know and understand your roles and responsibilities.
Check with your boss that you both have the same understanding of what you need to do to be successful.
Effective communication is the key to getting effective results.
Check for understanding. Use a translator. The question, "Do you understand?" almost invariably gets the answer yes. Better to ask what they understand.
Believing in someone when they don't believe in themselves is like giving a plant a shot of fertilizer. Individuals are often held back by limiting beliefs, such as, "I'm never one of the fastest at anything," or "I don't think I'll ever be good at this."
Managers and supervisors can lift performance by challenging these self-limiting beliefs.
The most effective supervisors use a coaching approach, which involves training, nurturing and developing people, rather than a purely policing approach which tends to create offenders.
Consistency in everything is crucial. Combine the coaching approach with rules that are understood by all and a consistent disciplinary procedure.
Sometimes teaching, or maybe just harnessing and improving one skill alone, can bring about an immediate leap in performance.
We worked with one young lady who was in considerable pain. We showed her how to listen to her body. In no time at all, she was back to her motivated self.
The great thing is that once an employee learns to use that skill to its fullest potential, the improvement sticks. They stay at a higher level because they're not necessarily working harder, they're working smarter, using better physical and mental techniques.
On one farm, we observed runner bean pickers snatching at the vine, which damages the plant and results in significant loss of income to them and the farmer.
We saw similar bad habits on an apple farm. The pickers were snatching the apples and breaking off the shoots that carries next year's buds. It's vitally important to teach the right skills from the start. Bad habits are really difficult to unlearn.
Right, let's take another break now and discuss the skills we've covered. Welcome back.
To give you some idea of the results that can be achieved teaching the right skills, this chart shows the improvement of average strawberry pickers compared with the rest of the gang. This result was achieved through just one session of less than half an hour with each person.
Because they had learned better methods and the work did not feel harder, they kept up this level of performance throughout the season. And of course, they earned much more.
A good example of this was a girl on a strawberry farm. She had been picking for 12 weeks and had actually got slower. We found that she had got so lacking in confidence that she had become depressed and believed she was useless. She was actually picking at half the speed she was 10 weeks earlier. We were quickly able to show her a couple of ways in which she could improve. Crucially, we believed in her ability and helped her to refocus and reconnect with her goals. By the next day, she was picking at twice the speed and 25% faster than at any time in the season.
It really is a win-win situation. Team leaders and supervisors already know that faster, more motivated employees are easier to manage.
Happy, motivated people are more productive. It's as simple as that. The supervisor's role is to create an environment where motivation can flourish.
So, to summarise, when your staff are successful, that is, they get the required quality and maximum quantity, it naturally follows that the company is more successful.
That's the plan, and it works. It's champion team leaders and supervisors that create champions.
In this film, we have showcased the skills that make the best performers, the champions, so good. We have provided guidance on how you can help others to acquire these skills. Next, we examined team skills and how you can help your teams to become more effective. Finally, we looked at the importance of getting the conditions right to allow workers to reach their potential. It could be true that some champions are just born that way. However, most can and must be created.
Well, Chris and Kathy have demonstrated that it's certainly feasible to lift performance using these methods. So, how much better would your business look with a 20% plus increase in productivity? Let me leave you with these thoughts. How soon will you begin? Is this a good time to be doing nothing?